Hello, culés, and welcome back to FC Barcelona Central, where the last week of the transfer window has delivered a dose of pure chaos, and the Champions League draw has given us a glimpse of the future. We got the news that will change everything from the new jaw-dropping bit of our young star to the dramatic end of a key player's time at the club. Today we're breaking down the Champions League group stage and the group of death feeling that we got. But first, we'll dive into the madness of the transfer market and a new hero from our academy that could be the answer to our biggest problem. This is the ultimate update on the last week of the transfer window, so if you're ready, let's get right to it. But before that, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a single update on our beloved club. Okay, the draw of the new Champions League phase is out, and it's a test of fire for Barcelona. Our team will face 8 rivals, with some of the incredible clashes to look forward to. The main talking point of these 3 toughest opponents will be PSG, Chelsea, and Newcastle. But let's break down the key storylines and key opponents for this league phase. Chelsea, a fearsome rival, the Club World Cup champion. We return to the Stamford Bridge, a stadium that holds a special place in Barca history. It's been 16 years since Iniesta scored the iconic goal, but the emotion will be just as high. Enzo Maresca's revamped the team with a strong squad in the presence of a new talent like Joao Pedro up front, the physical presence of Casado, and the creativity magnificent Cole Palmer, who's becoming to be an all-star player, a wall-star player. The most talked about part of this is the possibly facing Fermin Lopez, with he's been linked up with rumors that we're gonna talk about that later in a move to the Premier League club Chelsea. The second team that we're gonna face is PSG, the UEFA Champions League reigning champ. This is a chance to answer the question that everybody has been asking from last season: who will have won in a UEFA Champions League final if PSG and Barcelona will face each other? We'll find out when we host them at the Spotify Camp Nou. Luis Enrique and Ousmane Dembele will return to their old home, and we'll see if our team can contain the French champions. Other key player to watch in here is Vitinha in the midfield and Nuno Mendes, who has won the last duel against Lamine Yamal in the UEFA Nations League semi-final when he played in Portugal against Spain. Another opponent, Newcastle, is a trip back to St. James Park, where a place where Faustino Asprilla once single-handedly destroyed us with an incredible hack trick back in 1997. This is a team that has always very strong at home, but they're a bit of in an unknown situation. Our notes confirm that they most likely will lose the star striker Alexander Isak and their new signing of a German striker named Nick Woltemade, who made an excellent debut, an excellent game on the under-21 German team. The other players to watch here is Anthony Gordon, and in the midfield, Bruno. Other opponents to watch: the draw also gave us some incredible access to matches against Frankfurt, a familiar foe who knocked us out of the Europa League. Club Brugge, a trip that has a special connection with Iniesta's debut back in 2002. Copenhagen, which is an interesting asterisk given the possibility of Rooney Bardghji being long there. Also, he came from there. That's his last team. And finally, 2 teams that should be easy: Slavia Prague and Olympiacos, the Greek champions. Overall, I think we have a good league phase. Only 3 big opponents on Chelsea, PSG, and Newcastle. The rest of the teams should be a pretty easy win, and I'm confident we can go ahead and go into the next phase of the knockouts as a top contender. Now let's talk about a transfer saga that is just taking a shocking turn every day. As the whole world has focused on the Champions League draw, a new team has entered the race for Fermin Lopez. My notes confirm that Newcastle has joined Chelsea and Tottenham in the bidding, and the offer is truly massive. According to El Chiringuito, they are willing to pay a stunning 100 million euros for the midfielder. They will also quadruple his salary at Barca. This is a monumental sum of money for both the club and the player, and it has sent shockwaves through the front office. With an offer like this, the club is in a very difficult decision. With Vice President Rafa Juste told reporters that Fermin has a contract with the club currently, and they're happy with him. But a bid of this magnitude is definitely a game changer. I know I said before I was opposed selling Fermin, but for 100 million euros, I would do it. I will absolutely do it. That's a lot of money. We don't have any player. We have players that can bring us this much money, but a player that we don't really rely on, that we don't really like need. He's an amazing player. He has an amazing future. But if we can sell him for 100 million euros, that's major money. That will solve a lot of options in our club. So what's the plan if Fermin leave? The club already have decided on its replacement, and it's not a new signing. The club bet is on a 17-year-old Pedro Fernandez, known as Draw. He was one of the revelations of the preseason tour and has already won Hansi Flick over in the technical staff. Draw has surpassed other talented young players and is now seen as the answer if Fermin were to leave. He's a bit raw, he's very young, but the club is also working to resolve another financial issues. It's been confirmed that Oriol Romeo and the club has reached an agreement to terminate his contract. This is huge and a big relief for Barca, as a crucial finally step to registering the new signings like Rooney Bardghji. So it's definitely a big week for this transfer market. Has everything come to a close? That is the replacement for the ideal replacement for Fermin, which is dropped. And like I mentioned in the last video, FC Barcelona has finally reached an agreement with Mallorca for the transfer of a young winger, Jan Virgil. The 20-year-old will be the second Barca player to move ahead to the island in this transfer window, following Pablo Torre, and he might not be the last one. After weeks of rumors behind the scenes meaning the deal for Jan Virgil is officially done. The player has been seen in Barcelona a few days ago, ready to board a flight to Palma to finalize his move. The Mallorca coach, Jagoba Arrasate, has been observing the signing of Virgil all summer, and it looks like precisely this has paid off. This is not a simple loan, it's a permanent move. Jan Virgil will sign a 5-year contract with Mallorca, but here's the clever part for Barcelona, something that they have been implemented for a few years now. The transfer fee is just 3.5 million, but the club will retain 50% of the player's right and a buyback option. This means that Barca gets the much needed money now and it still has a full control of the player if he explodes in the future. For Virgil, this is a huge opportunity to prove that he's ready to play in top flight of a football league with an overbooking position in the current squad, because Rafinha and the new signing Marcus Rashford, his path to the first team was pretty much blocked. This move to a La Liga club is the perfect next step for his career. And for Mallorca, this is a massive win. They landed one of the top targets, a versatile, exciting young player who will fit perfectly in this new system for this new coach. They now have two young Barca talents, Virgil and Pablo Torre, to strengthen their attack. This deal also confirms that Mallorca is still interested in other Barca players, including Hector Ford and Dani Rodriguez. So this might not be the last time we hear from Mallorca this transfer window. It's a week that shows how everything is connected at this club. The UEFA Champions League draw, the transfer market, and the youth academy all play a part in this big final puzzle. What do you think of the whirlwind of news? Do you think the club should accept the massive offer for Fermin and bet on draw? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the video so you don't miss a single update. The next video will be everything about our match against Rayo Vallecano, which I heard rumors that the stadium pitch is a disaster. But we'll go ahead and talk about that on most certainly Monday. Until next time, and Visca Barça!